All right. So, good evening, Karen. How are you? Is everything okay?
Hi, teacher. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Great. That's
How are you?
great. I'm fine. Thanks, Karen. I think I feel way better. I'm just getting better and better. So, thanks for asking. Good. So, we need to continue working on this one, Karen. We're going to keep working to finish the last unit. This is kind of the. You're also sick, Karen. Are you sick as well?
I don't know. It's. I
Let's
hope.
hope not. What did you do this weekend? Did you go out?
Uh, no. Oh, yes, I go to the. How can I say? Mercado, pero no como el supermercado, como el mercado que hay como la cancha, ¿sí?
Yes, you can also call it, the market is a supermarket, right? So that market is only a market, or you can call it an open market. Okay, but if you say market, it's also correct.
Okay. I went to a market with my mom on Sunday. I only do that.
Okay, good, but well, let's hope, right? And I think it's also because of the season, right? It's kind of winter, so we start getting sick, but I hope you feel better. You have to take care of yourself, Kat,
Yeah.
right? Good. So, let's keep working as I was telling you. This is the last week for finishing the units that we have. Next week, they are only going to be conversations. Okay, we're not going to have classes like this. So this is the week for us to finish everything we have to finish. So we have these lessons left to go, Karen. Today we're going to work with adjectives and adverbs that again can be simple, but it can be also complex to use adjectives and adverbs when they are complex as well. And after that one, we only have one more, that is articles and the. That is going to be an extra practice. So let's go to this one. And before checking everything, no, Pearson, everything is done with Pearson. Let's just verify the dates that we have, just in case, please, Kevin. Give me 1 second. I want to be sure about that one. So let's see what we got in our calendar. So yes, we have until tomorrow. So actually, let's work on that quiz. Yeah, before I forget, tomorrow it's only going to be the conversation. I'm going to assign the quiz. All right. So if you feel ready, sorry, about Unit 3, you can take it. I don't know if I already assigned this one. I think I didn't yet. No, I did, right? This assignment, this quiz, Karen. Let me verify. I did assign it. And perhaps you already took it. Yes, you have everything done so far. So I'm going to go directly then to Unit 4. As Unit 3 is already done, let's assign this one directly. So if you have the time, you can start now if you want after the class, or as soon as you feel ready to start this one. So Unit 4, let me just unclick that one just in case. Good. So you can start now, and it's going to be until we have a lot of time, but let's do it in that way. Let's remember that everything is going to finish next week, Tuesday. So you have all these days until Tuesday to take this quiz. Oh, sorry, to complete these assignments. All right, assignments for Unit 4. So 2 times and the model. Good. That's the first thing. But I'm also going to do something. You don't have a quiz for Unit 4, all right? You're not going to have a quiz for Unit 4. Instead of the quiz, you're going to have this. This is the final exam. And this is the exam that involves all the contents, all right, from Unit 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm also going to assign this one, not now. I mean, it's not going to be available now. It's going to be, let me do it, starting this weekend. Okay, so that we can finish everything until Friday. So if you feel ready, let's start this one on Friday. after the class. It means it's going to be 9:30 p.m. Okay, because after the class, we're going to finish all the content. So if you feel ready, you can take the final test. So starting Friday and finishing on Tuesday as well. Okay, so you have all those days to take the final exam. It's up to you when you want to take it. You can use the days on Monday and Tuesday because we're only going to have the conversation, and after that you can take the final exam. Okay, but that's it. Until Tuesday, July the 5th, 11:59 p.m. That's going to be, and for this one, it's going to be 60 minutes. It's the same structure, and you find the final exam also in the same place, Karen. And that's it. Okay, so with this, we are finishing everything with Pearson. It's only going to be up to you, Karen, to complete the assignments for Unit 4 and the final test starting this weekend. So do you have any questions about this platform before going to the next part? Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
No? All right.
Teacher,
Yeah.
this exam will be my last. I mean, in the calendar that you show me, our last class is on July 7. I don't remember.
Yes, the exam is the last exam. Look, the classes, actually these classes, right? These 1 hour and 40-minute classes in which we work theory, we practice, right? Those classes are going to finish this Friday, right?
Mhm.
That's the end of the class. Next week, you only have 2 conversations with me, Karen. All right. Monday, we're going to have a 15-minute conversation. You're going to tell me the time. And Tuesday, we're also going to have a 15-minute conversations. Why? Because those are the 2 days that we couldn't have the conversations because of the holidays, right? So it means that we are not going to cover anything new, Karen. We are only going to practice on Monday, 15 minutes, and on Tuesday, 15 minutes. All right. But again, everything that has to be covered is going to be finished this Friday. That's why after the class on Friday at 9:30 p.m., you can take the final exam if you want. Okay, you can take that time, or maximum, okay, maximum on Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. All right, but everything finishes there. It means that after Tuesday, I have to send the scores with your final scores, right? So that when they start the next course, I'm not sure when it's going to be, Karen. I don't know if it's going to be directly on Wednesday or Friday, or if they are going to start the next course the following week. It means that if I show you the calendar, perhaps it's going to start, let's go to July. Yes, if it doesn't start on the 6th or the 8th, okay, the next course, it's going to be directly on Monday the 11th, all right, July 11th. But again, this Friday, July the 1st, everything finishes. Monday the 4th and Tuesday the 5th, it's only for the conversations and for you to take the final quiz or the final test in case you didn't do it. All right, but that's the only thing we have to do up to that part. And that's the last thing. The next part is another course. If we're going to keep working together, again, the maximum we can work together is 3 months, but sometimes they change the teachers. So if we keep working the next course, it's going to be everything new, right? A new model, everything is going to start from zero. If you're going to be with a new teacher, the same logic, right? A new model, and you're going to be working with him or her. All right, but that's what I can tell you. I don't know if you have more questions about that, Gary.
Teacher, the last day, you say that we have 50 minutes. This we will start as the same time like the conversation. So we start uh, 7:45.
On Monday, it can be before, Karen, as we are not going to have classes on Monday. If you want, we can start at 7:45. Okay, 7:45, and we have the conversation on Monday at that time. Okay, you only need to confirm that one, because in the web page you're not going to be able to choose a schedule for Monday. Okay, that's why it's only between you and I, and that's something I'm going to communicate to administration. Okay, but on Tuesday it has to be at the same schedule at 9:15. Okay, so Monday can be 7:45, but Tuesday, the last day, it has to be at 9:15. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Anything else? Let me know, please.
No.
Okay, let's do it then. Let's close Pearson. Everything is done over there. The calendar, yes, everything is clear as well. You have the first lessons, then unit 4. Everything is done. And yes, so we're ready to go get it. Let's share. As always, I'm sharing the link just in case. It's in the chat. That's what we're going to be practicing today. And the lesson is adjectives and adverbs. So let's remember what these words are. Again, they can be very simple, but it's important to understand very well how to use them. So how can you explain what these words are, Karen? What is an adjective and what is an adverb? What do you say?
Mm. Mhm. I don't know.
Okay, so if I say this sentence, right? Again, it can be simple, but here you're going to see that it can be also very complex. Very, very simple sentence, okay? Then I'm going to give you a complex one. In this sentence, he is tall. What is the adjective?
Tall.
Tall, What is tall doing in that sentence? What is tall telling me about he?
Uh, is explained that she has that she is told that she is I don't know other.
And it's good. But what is it giving me? Is it giving me a characteristic for the personality? Is it giving me a physical characteristic? What is it giving me?
A physical characteristic.
Good. So it's giving me a description, right? So that's an adjective, all right? An adjective is a description of something, a description of a person, an object, an idea, anything, right? If you say he is handsome, then you are describing him because you believe that he is good looking, right? And so you are describing him physically. Or if you say that movie is interesting, right? You're describing the movie because you're telling me that that's a movie that has a lot of action or has a good argument and it's worth watching that movie, okay? Because it's interesting, all right? So that's an adjective. An adjective describes, right? A noun, and a noun can be a person, an object, whatever you want. So now let's also keep working with adjectives, but this is going to be a more complex one. All right. What is the adjective here? If I say, all right, yesterday I was walking on the street when I suddenly saw a very clever looking person and I decided to talk to him. All right, so one more time. Yesterday I was walking on the street when I suddenly saw a clever looking person and I decided to talk to him. So in that idea, what is the adjective or what words are the adjective?
Clever looking.
Okay, good. What do you think is the meaning or what type of description is giving that idea, clever looking?
What's the meaning of clever?
Clever is something very similar to smart or intelligent.
Okay. Do you ask me the significant?
Yes, can be the meaning, or what, how can you explain that? What do you understand when I say then a clever looking person?
Mm, that describes the way that this person see, I don't know, or see you.
Okay, okay, we're close, but is it the way, sorry, is it the way that person sees me, or is it the way I believe that person looks in appearance? What do you say?
Looks in appearance.
Right? Good. So if you say looking, it means I'm talking about appearance. All right. That's why you say, right? That's a good looking person. What's a good looking person? A handsome man or a beautiful girl, right? A good looking, a clever looking, right? It means that it looks that that person is clever or intelligent. Okay. What about this one? We believe that it's important to support local products. Okay, we believe that it's important to support local products. What is the adjective over there?
Mm, I don't know if it's important or support.
Good. One of them is okay. Actually, there are two adjectives. Important, it's okay. There's one more. Pay attention one more time. We believe that it's important to support. Support is a verb. Okay, in this case, only a verb. To support local products. Okay, local products. What do you say?
Local.
Correct, exactly. Right? Why? Because the noun is products. Local is describing the products, right? They can be new products, old products, local products, international products, right? Big products, small products, right? So whatever word you have before products is going to be an adjective, right? And also important. Good. So important and local, right? So you have that one. Those are adjectives. And again, I'm showing you that one because here you're going to see a lot of adjectives and it's important to understand how to use them. So far, what are the two possible ways that you have to use adjectives, Karen, in those examples? In what part do you locate an adjective to use an adjective? What do you say?
In a specific sentence.
In any sentence, for example, in the first sentence that I gave you, right, the very easy sentence, where did I use the adjective? What is the structure in that sentence in which I said the adjective tall?
I think that is subject plus verb in the verb. I don't know in the verb in the base form plus adjective.
Okay, Actually, it's not going to be in the base form, right? Because if it was in the base form, it would be be, right? So it's conjugated. Good. And what verb am I using? Am I using any verb or am I using a specific verb?
And a specific verb.
And in this case, it's going to be the verb to be, right? So one way of using adjectives is with the verb to be. That's why you say, right? He is tall. It is important. She is beautiful. It is interesting, right? The movie is interesting, right? So the adjectives usually go after the verb to be. And what about this other example, Karen? When I say it is important, good, it's after the verb to be, it is important. But the next part, that we support local products. So what is the other way in which I can use adjectives?
Um, Before the noun.
Correct, exactly. And it can be in any part of the sentence as long as it is before the noun, right? So you can say, beautiful girls are everywhere. Look at those beautiful girls, right? I like thinking of beautiful girls every time, right? Beautiful girls are the best girls ever. So I'm using beautiful girls as subject. I'm using beautiful girls as object after the verb to be, after other verbs. Okay, so you can use the adjective before a noun and you can use that combination anywhere, right? Because it's going to be like one subject or one object or whatever you want to give it. Okay, so let's have that in mind. Adverbs. For adverbs, I don't want to be so specific. I just want to try to tell me, Karen, what do you think then adverbs are?
Mm,
They also describe something, but they don't describe a person or an object. They don't describe a noun. What do you think they describe?
um, feelings? I don't know.
Can be related to that one, but more than feelings, it's going to be actions. Okay, actions. They describe actions. And actually, look, adverbs can describe verbs, adverbs can describe adjectives, adverbs can describe adverbs. Okay, adverbs can describe all of those things. But mainly what you have to remember again, Karen, actions. And this is when you have to write so that you remember the rules. For example, here, if I say he runs fast, okay, fast is an adverb. I'm not saying he is fast. I'm not describing the person, he. I'm describing the action, run. I'm saying how he runs. Okay, so he runs fast. How does he run? The answer to how is the adverb.
Teacher,
Okay, yes,
1 minute, please.
yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, teacher, sorry.
All right, don't worry. So again, right, the only thing you have to remember, Karen, adverbs describe actions. All right, how you do something. How do you run? Fast. How do you walk? Slowly. All right. How do you sing? Beautifully. All right. It's that ly, and in Spanish is like mente, right? Rápidamente, hermosamente. That's an adverb. Okay, so again, we're not going to go deeper in adverbs, Karen. The most important here is adjectives. So let's start by reading this definition, please,
We use adjectives to describe nouns and pronouns. Adjectives can come before nouns or after linking verbs.
Karen. Good, great. A linking verb is a verb that is not an action. Okay, it only links an idea. For example, the verb to be is a linking verb. Okay, also the verb feel, if you say feel or look. Okay, but I'm going to show you some linking verbs. Linking verbs are not action verbs, all right? Though those ones can be used with adjectives. So here you have very simple examples, Karen, but let's read them anyway, please.
Adjective plus noun, big house. She is a beautiful girl. He is a handsome man. It is a hard exam.
Good, right? So you can say simply, she is beautiful, and it's correct, or you can say she is a beautiful girl. You can say he is handsome, correct. Or you can say he is a handsome man. You can say it is hard, or you can say it is a hard exam. It depends on you, right? Here you're only putting more emphasis and giving more information, but both ideas are correct. Now, these are linking verbs, okay? Be, look, seem, act, smell, because they don't show action actually. They only connect the ideas, right? She is beautiful. Who is beautiful? She. He looks handsome, okay? It's not how does he look, all right? It's only connecting the idea, all right? It means that he is handsome, right? He looks handsome means he is handsome. The test seems hard. Seems is not an action. Seems means parecer, right? Looks also. Parece, luce. So those are not actions. Those are only descriptions or connectors, all right, for the word in the first part and the adjective afterwards. Okay, so those are linking verbs. Actually, the first thing that I want to do now, Karen, to use these linking verbs, let's write please some ideas. You have the link in the document. Try to use adjectives that are not these adjectives. Okay, don't use beautiful, don't use handsome, don't use hard. Use other adjectives, but use one, no, actually one for each, please. One example for the verb to be plus an adjective, one with look, one with seem, one with act, and one with smell. Okay, and remember, you can use any subject that you want, and you have to use different adjectives. Okay, so it's 5 examples, very short examples as this one, Karen. Okay, like she's beautiful, but use 5 different adjectives for those 5 examples. All right, let me know please if you have any questions before working on those ones.
Teacher, I have a question with the word look. If I say he looks like my brother, I I don't use in this sentence adjective.
You don't use it exactly here. We don't have to use that idea here, Karen, because in that case you are talking about similarities. The
Mhm.
sentence is correct and is very good, but in that case, that's right. You don't use an adjective. All right. To write an adjective here in this example, you have to use it directly, like in this example, right? He looks handsome, or anything in which you can use the idea of lucir or luce, right? But not as a comparison, only to describe an adjective for a person or for an object. All right,
All right.
good. Let's do it, please. Those 5 ideas, 5 different adjectives, please. Let's have, well, 3 to 4 minutes, but please let me know if you finish before so that we can check.
Okay. Teacher.
Yes, tell me, Karen, is everything done?
I think so.
Okay, so let's take a look then. Let's go over there. Let me stop the timer. And over here. So let's read your ideas, please, Karen.
Okay. They are clearer. She looks pretty. The food smells good. He seems tired, and we act bad. I have a question with the last one.
Yes, tell me,
The
Karen.
act is like the word that the actors do.
To act, not always. Look, act in the actors, usually you don't say that the actors act. Sometimes yes, but it's better if you say that the actors perform. Okay, that it's in the chat. All right, perform is related to an actor. An act is just the way you behave. Okay, for example, if you are rude, okay, if you are not nice and you are rude, you can say, hey, you're acting rude. Okay, it means the way you are behaving, the way you look. All right, so you look rude, you are behaving rude. All right, so can be also to act, but again, if it's more precise, Karen, it's going to be perform, as it's in the chat. All right, good. So they are clever, great, and remember, instead of e, it's going to be more like e. Just in this case, let's repeat this word, please, Karen. Clever.
Clever.
Clever, good. This, and also here we're going to check what happened, right? I think we corrected that one. We're going to see. In this one, she looks pretty, great. The food smells good. That's perfect. Always adjectives, adjectives, adjectives. He seems tired, add an adjective as well, and we act bad. Good. I think I have no observations over there. Again, in the last part, it depends the meaning, but in this case, we're using act as the way you behave. Okay, just that one, Karen. Here, I remember the last corrections, right? Remember to use that one, tennis. It can be, right, 3 times, 4 over here, for, let's say, 2 hours, let's say. Okay, using those 2 ideas, but that's something else. So, do you have any questions about this so far? Remember that these are adjectives. And it's possible to do this, Karen, because you're using linking verbs. Okay, looks is a linking verb, smells is a linking verb, seems is a linking verb, act is a linking verb. Okay, they are not actions, they just describe something and they can be used with adjectives. All right, do you have any questions about these verbs? Let me know, please.
With adjectives, we only use these linking verbs to do a sentence.
If you want to write a sentence with after the verb and only the adjective, yes. If not, you can use any verb. Remember the example that I gave you, right? It's important to support local products, right? Support is an action verb. It's not a linking verb. And I'm using an adjective. Why? Because I'm not only using an adjective. I'm using an adjective plus a noun. Okay, so if you use an adjective plus a noun, Karen, you can use any verb you want. Okay, any verb you want. Only use these verbs if you want to use only the adjective after the verb. Okay, it applies only in that case. All right,
So,
good. Yes, tell me.
So if we use, or if we want to use linking verbs, it's always adjective at the end.
No, because after those linking verbs, you can say whatever idea you want, right? For example, this is a linking verb, right? So you can say a verb, for example, another verb. You can say the test seems to be, okay, seems to be different. So you can use another verb, and then you can use an adjective if you want. All right. Also looks, right? You gave me an example with looks, and also that's a linking verb, and you can say he looks like my father. So that's also a linking verb, but you're using the structure of similarity or comparison, right? So after these verbs, you can use other verbs, you can use other structures. It's only that if you want to use a description, is not going to be an adverb, all right? And you're going to understand why. Look, if you use an action verb, you cannot use an adjective. For example, if you use a linking verb as this one, right? She is quick. What is the meaning of that one? She is fast, all right? Quick. You can use also a linking verb, not only the verb to be. You can say she seems quick. And that's still okay. Okay, so if you want to give the idea of only describing a person, use that one. But look, this is why only with some verbs it is possible. Now, I'm not going to use a linking verb. I'm going to use an action verb. That is, for example, run. If I say run, I cannot say quick. Okay, it's going to be incorrect. Why? And look, here you have the mistake. Because run is not an action, a linking verb. Run is not the verb to be. Run is an action. And if I have to describe something after an action verb, it has to be an adverb. And an adverb usually, Karen, is going to be the verb, the adjective plus ly. Okay, and it has to be quickly. Here, if I say she seems quickly, it's incorrect. Okay, here, if I say she is quickly, it's incorrect. All right, it has to be quick. Okay, so it's only to see the difference between quick, rápida, and quickly, rápidamente. Quick can only be used after the verb to be and after linking verbs. All right, if you have another verb, you have to use an adverb, or you can use something different. So you can say this, right? And again, in my example, one more time, right? She likes to support, local products, right? So here, local is an adjective, but it doesn't matter what verb I have here. Why? Because I'm not describing she, right? I'm describing products, all right? So only use this logic, Karen, when you are describing the subject of your idea. Okay, so quick, so I'm going to do that very quickly. Here, quick is describing what? She, right? She. Here, quick is also describing what? She. Here, quickly is not describing she, it's describing runs. All right, it's describing runs. How does she run? Quickly. And here, local is not with that one, this one is the adjective, but local is not describing likes, local is not describing she, local is describing products. Okay, so again, it depends what you are describing, all right? So it only applies the last time, okay, the linking verbs if you are using to connect the two ideas, the person or object that you want to describe, plus the adjective that you're using to describe. Okay, only in that way it's possible to use that structure. If not, you can do it with these other possibilities. Okay, again, this is practice, more practice, practice, but I don't know if you have questions about the differences between these examples that I wrote.
No, it's okay, but I need practice.
Yeah, actually, and believe me, yes, adjectives, they are one of the first lessons that you learn when you learn English, but they are also one of the most advanced lessons that you can have in English. Okay, they can be very complex. So don't worry, little by little. So far, you only need to know this guy again, right? So let's review. You need to know that adjectives describe nouns. What is a noun? Karen is a noun. Computer is a noun. Luis is a noun. Party is a noun. Dog is a noun, right? Any name or any proper name, or actually any name is going to be a noun, right? And also any proper name or pronouns. I, he, she, it, we, you, they, right? That's what adjectives describe.
Mm.
Okay, so you use adjectives what? After the verb to be, like here, or after linking verbs. For example, she is quick or she seems quick. Okay, after the verb to be or linking verbs, or you can use adjectives before the noun you describe. Okay, and it doesn't matter what verb you use. All right, so let's have only that in mind. After the verb to be, after linking verbs, or before nouns that you describe. Okay, now let's try to do something. And this is going to be a challenge for you perhaps, but try to do it differently. Okay, all of these are adjectives. All
Teacher,
right,
one second, my cat is crying.
go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, try it, it's okay.
Okay. Sorry, teacher. Today my pets are bothering me.
Okay, don't worry. How old is your cat?
This one has 12, 12 years.
Good. Remember, not has, right? Is, right? So that one is
Sí,
12 years old. Okay, good. Okay. So it's like an adult cat. Good. Great.
Yes.
So has he or she, it's a he, right? You told me.
Uh,
You have
the
more.
yes, I have more. The cat that is crying is she. She is 12 years old, and the cat and the black cat that always go. He the cat is he's 3 years.
Okay, 3 years old, right? If you say 3 years, it's going to be incorrect. Okay, 3 years old. Good. Or three. You can only say he's three.
Ah, okay.
Okay, good. Okay, nice, nice. And do they get along? Do they have a good relationship?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good, good. And it's okay, you can say crying, right? My cat is crying because cry applies to any species, right?
Yes.
Okay, good, good, great. So, I was saying this one. These are adjectives, all of them. You know, perhaps all of them, all right? But we're going to try to use the ones that are a little bit different, all right? And I want you to use all these adjectives not in the simple way, right? Subject, verb to be, and adjective. No, we're going to try to write more complex ideas in which you use these adjectives before the noun, and that combination can be the subject or the object of your idea. Okay, I'm going to give you examples, but you're going to try to use, no, before giving you the words you're going to use, Karen, I'm going to show you what words you're going to use. I'm going to give you an example for what you're going to do. You're going to give me some examples like this. First, you're going to use this combination, adjective plus noun, as the subject of your ideas. All right, so you're going to say something like international meetings. So here, what is my adjective? International, right? And I'm using this combination. I'm describing meetings, right? International is describing a quality for meetings. So in describe international meetings are the best opportunity, let's say, all right, to create new, let's say, bonds with different companies, something like that. All right, bonds is like connections, links. All right, so look, this is not a very simple example, right? But this is what I want you to try to do, Karen. Try to, and here the main words that you're using are these two words. The rest of the information is anything that you can tell me, Karen. Okay, anything. So one thing that you're going to do is try to use those ones as subjects, but also you're going to use them as objects, like in this example, right? So you're going to say, it is always important. One more time that expression, okay? This is an adjective, but this is not my main adjective. It is always important to take, all right, to take, I'm going to use local one more time. No, to take regional farmers into account. Okay, so that's the other example. Here I'm using regional. Regional is the adjective and farmers is the noun, right? So I'm talking about regional farmers. So farmers that come from that region. So it is always important to take regional farmers into account. It means that we should consider them for everything that we do. All right, so again, I'm using first my combination adjective plus noun as subject, and then I'm using the combination adjective plus noun as an object. And an object can be anywhere you want, Karen, but it's always after the verb. Okay, it can be after a verb, after a preposition, all right, or after, let's say, connector, but it's always after the verb. So first, let me know if you have any questions about this way in which I'm using these adjectives. What do you say?
Oh, that looks a little kind of difficult, but I will try.
Okay. Remember, you don't have to write like words that you don't understand very well. Only try to follow these ideas. All right, and only try to follow these ideas. Yeah, it doesn't have to be this complex. I'm just showing you that adjectives here, it's very simple, right? She's quick, that's very simple. But I really want you to try to use this in a more complex way, Karen. Try to do it in the way you can. It's not possible to make it this complex. At least try to be sure that you're going to use this combination as subject and object in different examples. All right, with the words that you are sure that you understand. But following that logic, that's only an example. Let's use the following ones, please. I'm going to tell you which ones. Okay, and remember, all of them are adjectives. It means that they describe something. Okay, they describe something. So the first one is very easy, free. But again, you have to use it with one noun. Okay, so one with free, one with, it's going to be, you have local, it's going to be international once again. All right, international. Then actually large, long, no. Political, let's see if it's possible, right? Political. Then public, all right, public. Then social, and I think that's it, okay? Those five. Let's try to write, it's up to you, but try to change, try to use the combination this adjective plus a noun. Okay, for example, what can you say? A free party, right? A free product, a free cell phone, a free computer, free whatever. right? International meeting, international contest, international event. Political, right? Political event, also political situation. Public, a public place, a public, again, event, a public party, a public state, a social, I don't know, meeting, a social interaction, a social network, and so on and so forth. All right, so it's up to you. Try to use some of those combinations, Karen, as the subject of your idea, and some of them as the object of your idea, in the way that you can do it with the words that you choose to do it. All right, do you have any questions? Let me know, please.
No.
Okay, let's do it. 4 minutes. If you finish before, let me know. We're going to check everything together. All right, let's do it, please. All right, so let's check what you got, and we're going to finish some ideas together. And we're also going to see how we can use other words with these adjectives. So
Okay.
let me go to your examples over here. Right, let's read what you got, please, Karen.
Okay. All the events of the government are usually free events. Let's continue.
Yes, let's continue, please.
My international meeting is in Japan. The political situation in the country maybe generate problems. She has gone to many public shows.
Thank you very much. I think it's very good. All right. Again, you did it great. Only some words that is better if you use the English way. I'm going to tell you which ones, but in general, it's very good. Only one expression that is not correct is that maybe, right? Maybe can be an adverb, all right? Maybe can be an adverb, but it can be at the beginning of the sentence. All right, so you can say, maybe the political situations in the country generate problems, okay? But if you don't use that one, remember that you only use may. May means puede que. So that's only possibility. I'll only use may. All right. If you want to use may as a model to show uncertainty, you're only going to say in the country may generate problems. All right. It's like saying puede que las situaciones políticas en el país generen problemas. Right. It's like that puede que. All right. Good. So again, in general, I think it's very good. So here, instead of that one, perhaps you can say all the government's events, right? Because this is okay, but again, right? It's better if you do it in the English way. All the government's events are usually free events, but this is most important here, and this is correct. Okay, very good. So free event, adjective plus a noun, and in this case, plural. My international meeting, correct. In this case, you're using a possession, which is also possible and great. So meeting. International is describing the characteristic of your meeting, right? It's not any meeting, it's an international meeting. Good. Political situations. You're describing the situations, but not any situations, right? The political ones. It means the situations that are related to politics, right? And finally, shows, not any shows. You're only talking about public shows, right? So it's good. You use them as objects in two cases, sorry, and as subject in two cases, right? So I have no observations here, Karen. It was very good. I think it was only missing one word, right? One adjective. What is the adjective that you couldn't use yet?
Social?
Social, exactly. So over here, no, actually not writing that one, just speaking. What example can you give me with social?
My mother went to a social event.
It is okay. It's correct. A social event, social party, a social meeting, right? You can say anything that can be social, right? And it's possible. Good. So again, if you analyze, and one more time, if you see these words, actually it's not going to be hard to use them. You can use any of them plus a noun, about word, a big pool, a different scenario, an easy exam, an economic right situation, a free party, a full glass, a good person, a great or great people, hard test, high building, important meeting, international event, large country, little problem, local products, right? Long distance, low, it can be low prices, national security, new shoes, right? So any of them can be followed by words, any word that you can and that you want. And you can use that combination in any part of your sentence, and that's it. Okay? Not all of them can be adverbs, only some of them. And the only thing that you do to change those to adverbs is adding ly. For example, different can be an adverb. What is the adverb of different, Gary?
Differently.
Differently, like diferentemente. Good,
Differently.
good. What about free?
Freely.
Freely, easy,
Sorry. Easily.
easily, good. Then high,
Highly.
highly, important,
Importantly.
recent,
Recently.
public,
Mm, public. Publicly.
publicly, good. And this can be a little bit, actually it's easier, but what about possible?
Possibly.
Possibly. Exactly. Okay, so it's just that. Okay, you add the ly and then you have an adverb. And if you have an adverb, it's not going to describe a noun, right? It's going to describe an action, right? An action, and that's it. Okay, but first this one. I don't know if you have any questions about these adjectives or the way in which you can use adjectives, Karen. Let me know, please.
This list, I think that we have more adjectives. So these are the important.
Yes, these are the most common adjectives that you use, all right, in a regular conversation, or if you watch the news or anything like that. These are like the most used and the most common adjectives that you use in your daily conversations.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but you have a lot, and you have adjectives that you're never going to use actually, even in Spanish. Right? In Spanish, there are many words or adjectives that you only read in books or you only hear in movies sometimes. Right? It's the same in English. You have a very long list of adjectives, but some of them are never going to be used. If you feel that you master and you can use these adjectives very well, you can start adding more adjectives little by little. And you can use synonyms, right? There are synonyms. Instead of saying big, there are other adjectives to say that idea. But again, that's something that you can do after you feel comfortable using these adjectives at first. All right?
Okay.
Good. What else? Any other questions about adjectives so far? Let me know, please, Karen.
No.
All right, good. So let's go to adverbs. And again, here, adverbs are not going to be the main thing. But there's something very important about adverbs that you need to know, Karen, that is the exceptions, okay? I don't care at this point how you use the adverbs. What it's going to be important is going to be that you can recognize what is going to be an adverb and the exceptions one more time. So let's read the definition for adverbs, please.
Adverbs are used to describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They are often, but not always, made by adding LG
Ly?
ly? Why? Okay. Ly to the adjective.
Exactly. Good. Now, so again, right? I told you adjectives, oh sorry, adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. But usually you can understand as adverbs describing actions. Many times, not sometimes. Most of the times is what we did, right? International, internationally. Possible, possibly. Probable, probably. Easy, easily. But not every time. That's why we have exceptions. And that's the most important thing that we're going to be learning today. All right. And again, here you need actions because usually here you are not going to see adverbs describing adverbs or adjectives. Here, we're only going to cover adverbs describing actions. So let's also read this slide, please, Karen.
Adverbs can be located in many places. However, in simple sentences, it will be placed after a verb. Verb plus adverb. How can I say igual?
Equals.
Equals run quickly. Sorry. She sings beautifully. He speaks loudly. They study hard.
Thank you once again, Karen. Again, I think I'm going to work on my computer. Perhaps you need some maintenance. It's kind of slow, but as you can see, you follow the rules. Ly, ly. Beautiful, beautifully. Loud, loudly. But hard is an exception. Why? Why do you believe that hard is one exception, Karen? What do you say?
I suppose that we can the word with way
Why? Ly?
why doesn't exist with this adverb.
That is correct. If you use ly and say hardly, the word exists, but the meaning is different. All right, that's why it is an exception.
Oh, okay.
You say hardly, but hardly doesn't mean the adverb is like difícilmente o duramente, right? Hardly means almost never, okay, or very, very improbable. That's hardly. Okay, and again, that's why we don't use hardly as the adverb of hard, because hardly has a different meaning, and you're going to see the exact meaning later on. But that's one of the possible meanings. But later on, you have that possibility. So again, adverbs is not something that we need to master, but we need to understand at least. So if I say that you have to use, okay, let's use one that is not going to be that hard. All right. What about actually it's not here the one that I want. All right, let's use this one. Okay, slow. You know the meaning of slow, right? It's not in this list. What is slow?
When you walk or you do something in a you take many time to do something.
Okay, instead of many, as time is non-countable, you can say much time.
Much times.
Okay, good. Yes, it's correct, right? And you can say it's something on which you take your time to do it, right? So you take much time or you take your time. Good. So slow is a regular adjective. So what is the adverb for slow?
Slowly.
Slowly, good. So what example can you give me using slowly to describe an action? Following this structure over here. She sings beautifully, he speaks loudly.
She works slowly.
Correct. She works slowly because that's the way she works, right? And the question, what's the question? How does she work? She works slowly, right? That's always going to be the question for an adverb, okay? How? If you answer the question how, then you are using an adverb. What else? This can be a little bit different. What about, yes, this one. Try with this one, Karen. It's going to be internationally. What do you think with internationally? What action can you describe with internationally? And it can be an action, a direct action, or something in which you can say internacionalmente.
Okay. Eh, no, we prepare internationally. No, I have not internationally.
It can be hard, right? Because in that one, you have to say only international, right? International dishes or international something. But I'm going to help you out. For example, look, how do you say, nosotros vendemos productos internacionalmente? How do you say that?
We sell international. No, you can repeat again in Spanish.
Yes, and actually first this one and then the other one. How do you say nosotros vendemos internacionalmente?
Okay. We sell internationally.
That is correct. Now, the next clue, Karen, is that an adverb is not always going to be after the action, okay? An adverb can describe an entire action at the beginning of the sentence or at the end of the sentence, okay? And it's going to describe the entire action. So, how do you say this? Nosotros vendemos productos internacionalmente.
We sell products internationally.
Correct. Exactly. Right? And now use the other logic. Sometimes you can use that at the beginning because you're going to describe an entire idea. Okay? Now, then recent. What is the adverb of recent?
Recently.
Correct. Recently. What example can you give me with recently? And in that one again, you can use that for an entire idea.
Recently, he got a job. No, he get. No.
No, it's okay. Got a job because get is present, right? So you need to say gets, but gets is a routine, so it's better if you say got, right? He got a job. Okay, recently. And if you want to say that in a better way, even you can use the present perfect, right? He has gotten a job because it's recently and we don't know exactly when. All right, but if you use got is also correct, okay? There's no problem. Good. What about public? Public, but try to use public in a different place. Try to use it in the middle after one action or after a set of words. Publicly, right? Públicamente.
Públicamente, right? He no. He sees publicly in the street. I don't know. It's okay.
Okay. Well, one more time. What was the verb that you used to see?
Sing.
Okay. Then it's okay. Well, one more time, please, because it was not clear. One more time.
Okay. He sings publicly in the street.
Yes, it is correct. Remember only the S for the third person, right? A little bit more noticeable. He sings, right, publicly in the street. Or also sometimes you can use the adverbs are very flexible, All right, adverbs are very flexible. At the beginning, at the end, in the middle, after the action, before the action. Sometimes also you can say he publicly sings in the streets or on the streets. All right, but both are okay. Or he sings in the streets publicly, and it's also good, right? Or you can say something like he said publicly what he feels for me, all right, and many other things. So, but that's it, okay? It means that, as you can see, adverbs sometimes it can be a little bit harder, but it's only getting the way of using it, all right? Once you understand that an adverb can be very, very flexible, and you can use an adverb for short actions or complete ideas, then you're going to notice that actually is very simple using adjectives. Okay, but now let's take a look at this. First, we're going to see what we expect. Okay, these are normal or standard adjectives, adverbs, Karen. Let's read all of them, please.
Normally, we make an adverb by adding a way, no, why?
Why? Remember, if you don't remember how to say that one, always remember the question ¿por qué? How do you say ¿por qué? Why?
Why?
Right? Why? And sometimes in chats, and this is the last thing you're going to remember, in chats, they ask this. So what is the meaning of this that I'm writing in the chat? Karen, all right. Oh, sorry, where are you? Okay, that's what they write in the chat. So what is the meaning of that one? How do you read
that? Why are you feeling like this?
Good. So what can you answer to that
one? Why? Because I'm tired.
Great, exactly. Right. So they use those words right in chat. When they send messages, they use only those words, right? Why are you like this? And you are good, or I'm great, and so on. Right. So that's why you need to remember. Anytime you don't remember how to say that Y, it's always why. The why of por qué. Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay.
So keep going, please.
To an adjective, careful, adjective, he is always careful. Carefully, adverb, she put the glasses down carefully. Quiet, adjective, he is a quiet room, quietly. Adverb, he spoke quietly. Bad, adjective, this coffee is bad. Badly, adverb, he sings badly.
Great, there you go, right? So usually this is what happens, right? These are normal ways of using adjectives and adverbs. Careful, the adverb, carefully. Quiet, the adverb, quietly. Bad, the adverb, badly, right? We know that. It's not hard. But now, we need to know that there are exceptions, all right? But first, we have some endings, different endings. The same when you add the comparatives, right? If it ends in Y, you need some changes. So let's read also this one, please, Karen.
If the adjective ends in Y, we change Y to E. No.
To I?
To I. And add Ly. If the adjective ends in Le, we drop E and add Y. Happy adjective, he looks very happy. Happily, adverb, he sang happily. Gentle, adjective, it's a gentle cat. Gently, adverb, he stroked the cat gently.
Thank you. Again, there is anything new here. They are just telling you if it ends in Y, you need to follow these rules, right? Happily, you change the Y to I, and here you simply replace the E to Y, right? So happy, happily, gentle, gently, right? Gentil, gentilmente, right? So,
Sorry.
yes, tell me, Karen.
What's the meaning of a stroke?
To stroke is like to give a hit, but sometimes a soft hit. All right, that's to stroke.
Okay.
That's why it says, right, gently. Perhaps the cat did something bad, right? So it was a stroke, so that he doesn't do it again.
Mhm.
So here are the exceptions. Now, this is important, all right? These are not possible to be changed by ly. They don't have an adverb form. The form of the adverb is going to be the same. Okay, fast, fast, early, early, hard, hard. Because again, the meaning of the word with ly is different or it doesn't exist. Okay, so let's read these exceptions, please, Karen.
Okay. Fast adjective. That's a fast car. Fast adverb. She walks fast. Early adjective. She was early for the meeting. Early adverb. He arrived early.
Great, let's keep going. Let's keep going. There are more exceptions. Let's keep going, please.
A good adjective. That is a good book. Well adverb. She did well. She did well on the exam. Hard adjective. Math is hard. Hard adverb. He tried hard. Hardly. It's also an adverb but means almost none. See below.
Okay, thank you. And also the meaning that I told you, right? It means almost never. It means that something is very improbable. Now, the last ones, please. Yes, tell me, Karen.
Good. The word good is not an adverb.
No, it's an adjective. Only an adjective,
Only
right?
an adjective.
That's why you say, right? You are a good person. She is a good guy. He is a good guy. Es un buen chico, una buena persona, right? Good. But well is an adverb. That's why you say, hey, you did it well. Lo hiciste bien. It means you don't say buenamente, right? That's also in Spanish is different, right? Between hacerlo bien y ser bueno. All right, so good again, good is an adverb. You are good, he is good, that's a good meeting, that's a good exam. And well is how you describe an action or a more complex idea, right? You did your exam very well, right? You behaved very well. You sing very well, right? You don't say you sing good, right? That's incorrect. If you say you sing good, you say you sing very well, you sing well. Cantas bien. All right, because if you say yes,
Sorry. So if I say she did a good job, it's wrong.
no, it's correct because you're not describing she or did, you're describing job. It's okay if you say good job, right? So be careful with that one because remember, be careful with what you describe. It's okay to say good job, good person, good man, good woman, good exam, good whatever. But it's incorrect if you say she did it good. Okay, she did it good, or she did the exam good. That's incorrect. But if you say she did a good job, remember that good is not describing did, is not describing she, is describing job, right? So as long as good is describing a noun, Karen, is correct. Okay, so for example, here good is describing book. You are good is describing you, right? You look good is describing how you look. All right. But again, if you have another action, then you need well. All right. Then you need well. And again, the most common example that I can give you is when they say, hey, you sing very good. That's incorrect because good is not describing the action. It's incorrect. You need to say well, right? So you sing very well. You ran very well. You did very well. All right, the same idea. Good whenever you want to describe a noun. Well whenever you want to describe an action or a complete idea.
Okay.
Okay, good. So if I'm not wrong, yes, this is the last one. Let's read this one, please. Late.
Late adjective, he is always late. Late adverb, he got up late this morning. Lately is also an adverb but means recently.
Good, right? So late, the adverb of late is not lately, it's only late. Lately exists as hardly, but the meaning is different.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't mean tardemente, right? It means recently. All right, only recently. So that's it. I want to know if you have questions about these exceptions and if you understand the difference between these ideas. For example, hardly, the meaning of hardly or the meaning of lately, or why it's not possible to say early, because early is one word. There's no word of early without the ly, right? So it's not possible to add ly or to take away the ly because that's the word itself. All
No.
right. What do you say in general about adverbs? We're going to work on a last practice, but again, it's only going to be speaking. But I want to know if you have questions about adverbs before going to this part.
No, everything's okay.
Okay, good. So you know that most of these words, as we were doing it, and this is what we're going to do to finish, Karen, you only add ly and it's the adverb, except for hard, right? You have hard over here, and you don't have late, but you also have late or good, right? You know that good is going to be well. So if I ask you to use, let's say, socially, socialmente, in any way, you can place socially at the beginning, at the end, but it has to make sense, right? Not always at the beginning. If it's at the beginning, it has to be the description for everything. Socially is sometimes very specific. What do you say? What idea can you give me with socially?
Also, I so sad. Mm, hmm, I don't know. Even in Spanish.
It's hard. It's not easy, as you said, even in Spanish, right? So, socialmente, you have to think of something that goes socialmente. So, it's something that you do or you don't do, or something in which, or in a way in which you behave, right? So, you can use, whenever it's hard, you can use this expression, Karen, that can help you out. You can say socially speaking. Okay, what is the meaning of socially speaking? It means in terms of being social, right? So you can say, this is one example. You can say, socially speaking, I'm not one of the most skillful persons there. All right, it means like, socialmente hablando, no soy una de las personas más hábiles que hay. Okay, so if it's hard, try to use that expression, socially speaking. All right, or politically speaking, right, or economically speaking, right? When you give that introduction, it means that you're going to speak or you're going to say something in terms of social, in terms of economic, in terms of political, and so on and so forth, right? So that's one. One more. This is going to be the last one. And let's say it's going to be, hmm, all right, nationally. What about nationally?
Eh, we no. he they sell in nationally. No, they sell many products nationally.
Yes, it is correct. Good. In that way, you're describing the action of selling many products, right? And that's it. Again, that was only to see how we can use that one. It can be tricky. It's not always possible to use adverbs, Karen, right? You don't use adverbs all the time. It has to be in specific moments. And again, it's very common to use adverbs at the beginning of sentences, okay? At the very beginning of sentences to describe the whole idea, all right? But that's it. So finishing that one, and again, my mouse is frozen. Good, it's working now. I just want to show you again that you have two links to practice adverbs and adjectives, all right, at the end of that practice over there. And just to show you what we're going to be doing the next class, because Wednesday we're finishing the last lesson, and Friday we're going to have a different activity. Friday is going to be for reviewing. If you have questions about this unit, if you have questions about the whole course, because remember it's the last class, 1 hour and 40-minute class to have these conversations about theory and so on. So you can ask me about any of the lessons that you covered with me. If you have those questions, we're going to review, we're going to see if everything is clear. If not, again, we're going to have one activity in which we're going to be practicing speaking and, if possible, some listening. All right, so on Wednesday, then this is going to be the topic. It's not a complex topic. And that's why also on Wednesday, we're going to have an activity, but it's going to be a writing activity in which you're going to use these adjectives and adverbs. And also you're going to remember very well when to use, for example, the article the. All right, when to use the article the. And I was asking to the other course, I'm not going to write it here, or yes, actually, I'm going to write what you tell me. But to see if you get that difference. For example, imagine that you want to give a general example about an animal, but in general, not a specific group of animals, all animals in planet. Okay, how do you say this idea? In Spanish is los perros son lindos. How do you say that in English?
The dogs are cute.
Okay, the dogs are all right. So that can be valid, but if I tell you that that's incorrect, why do you believe that that's incorrect?
Why I believe?
If I tell you that that's incorrect, what is your guess? Why do you believe, or yes, why do you believe that it would be incorrect?
I think that the first word clap.
Okay, good. And why? Why is this going to be incorrect in this sentence if you're talking about all the animals in the world?
I don't know if this word only describe a single thing. I don't know.
Could be a single, but more than a single, it's going to be a specific and a particular group. All right. If you want to give a general idea in English, it's not a good idea to use the, at least in plural examples. All right. In English, that's what we're going to say. In Spanish, it's incorrect, right? You don't say perros son lindos, right? In Spanish, you say los, but in English, no. In English, you only say los when you're talking about specific dogs. Okay, so now this is correct. Now you're going to use the dogs if you're talking about dogs from a specific part in the world or from a specific example. For example, how do you say now in this different example to finish today? Los perros de mi vecindario ya son lindos. How do you say that?
The dogs are my neighborhood are cute.
Okay. Sorry. There you go. All right, good. Now, do you see the difference between these two? How can you explain this difference, Karen, in your own words, now that I told you? When do you say dogs and when do you say the dogs?
When with the first one, we use this form when we talk about something that that is general, and I mean that is big. If big, I think. And the second one is when we talk about something that is specific. Yes.
Yes, that is correct, exactly, right? So actually that's the most important part, but we're going to be practicing that a little bit more. All right, we're going to reinforce that with some knowledge, some examples, when to use the, and we're also going to add some information about pronunciation. I think you covered this with me. We're going to see if you did to see when to use one of the other one. But also something very important, Karen, is that we're going to see a list of things. For example, mountains, unique things, musical instruments, and other details, with which we can use the. All right, some countries and other specific, very specific rules to use the article the. Okay, but again, that's only to show you that there are some rules that we need to follow to use those articles, and that's going to be our Wednesday's class, just as an introduction. Let me know, please, if you have any questions. Remember that, again, this week is the last one. If you have questions, you can ask them on Wednesday or Friday. That is going to be the ideal day for you to ask questions about any of the lessons that you cover with me. So, any questions or comments to finish today, Karen? Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
No, all right. So as always, tomorrow you have the conversation with me. We're going to work a different article, or perhaps, yes, we have an article this time once again. Okay, we're going to work this article and we're going to keep practicing. Now I'm sharing the survey. Let's answer those questions as always, please, and let me know when you do it.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Have a good night, Karen. I hope you have to take care of yourself if you don't want to be like me. All right. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Right. See you.
Bye-bye.